Alright, so I went ahead and hit record.
Okay.
Alright. So I just want to say thanks for coming on to be interviewed.
Yeah, no worries.
Alright, so hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I am doing this interview series and uh words. I'm doing this interview series. It's unscripted. And so it's like free flow conversation. I just ask a bunch of questions, and we get to know different nerdcore artists within the community. And so today we've got a special guest, Connor Quest.
Hello, it's me, Connor Quest.
Would you like to introduce yourself, Connor?
I'm Connor Quest. I'm as you say, a nerdcore artist. Do raps about anime and stuff, and produce music for a YouTube channel. And that's pretty much all I do. bar some Twitch stuff every now and again, and reaction videos.
Yeah. So you've got two channels. Your main channel, which is Connor Quest.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you upload your music, and you have a second channel,
Dear.
Connor Side Quest.
Yes, I was very happy with that name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, the side quest wasn't really something I planned to do much of. I just kind of did it because every second channels were always in abundance of stuff. And obviously, I think I was the first one to really start uploading to one, because I know Game Boy Jones has one now. I think he started uploading after me.
Game Boy Jones Advance.
Game Boy Jones Advance. Yes, another great name. Another great name. But yeah, it was meant to be just like a dumping ground for stuff I didn't want to do on my main channel, but now it has kind of just become a reaction channel. Though I do want to change that.
Yeah.
I do want to start doing more varied content on it, much like Shwabadi is with his channel. Doing kind of varied content rather than just reactions. But I have that all planned out. It's just actually doing it and curating that content.
All right, sweet. You know who else has a really interesting second channel name?
Who's that?
Schwabadi. Schwaba
He does.
Dose.
Shrabados, yes. He went. That man went through 7 different names before he decided on Shrabados. I really liked Shrabatui.
Tui.
Yeah, like Banjo Kazooie.
I was thinking of Ratatouille.
Ratatouille. Yes, there is that as well. Yeah.
His whole Twitch stream thing. A bunch of us keep trying to make his follower base known as the Fish Rat Gang. So Ratatouille.
Ratatouille would work with. Ratatouille would work with the Fish Rat Gang. I like the Baddie Bunch. The Baddie Bunch was a good one.
Is there anything that you have ideas to, like, any sort of plans you might have for your second channel, since we're still talking about that?
Yeah, I mean, I said when I hit 10,000 that I would do a podcast, and that is kind of being made and done into an actual thing, but it's just it takes a little while to put those kind of assets together. I did a cover ages ago, or a cover remix, and I do want to do more of them. It's just actually finding stuff that I want to do, because they're obviously way more just kind of passion projects. So I really have to want to do one if I'm going to do it. Otherwise, I wouldn't just kind of do a cover, because it just seems like a waste of time. And then just fun stuff, fun little videos, like the comment one I did with Shwabadi on his channel, like just fun little stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then obviously still a lot of reactions because I mean there's music coming out every week, so there's always something to react to.
And of course, reactions get views, obviously.
Yes, they do. They do. It's a nice little fallback if anything. If the musical goes to pot, then we've
Well,
got reactions to fall back on.
well, music's not working out anymore. I guess I'll go react to some more videos.
Exactly.
You know, if you ever do a podcast, you should call it the Connor Quest Cast.
See, it's close. It's going to be called the
CQC.
Connor Quest. It's going to be called the Connor Quest log. Like a quest log.
That also works.
Yeah, I like that name. I was happy with that.
All right, so one thing I want to talk about is Connor Quest. Not everyone is fully aware of this, but that is not your first name.
It's not. And the one before wasn't my first name, and the one before that also wasn't my first name. I've been through a lot of different names. I went through. Well, if we want to take it right back, to like the first YouTube channel I ever made, that was called Chubbs Animations, and I really wanted to go by Chubbs for a while, but then I know, right? But then there was a kid in my school who I didn't realize this before I met him because I just knew him as Charlie, but it turns out his nickname was Chubbs.
Damn.
And so like, yeah, it was like, damn it. And like he was set in that nickname all like from day, apparently, and I just didn't know.
That was taken.
That was taken. Then I just started going by my World of Warcraft username, which was Terminated. I did that for like a vlog channel and a gaming channel. And then I started using it for my music when I did like really, really bad freestyles on like SoundCloud back in the day. So I went by that for a while. Then I had my identity crisis and I didn't know what name to go by. So I just wanted to go by Connor for a while because I thought if I'm just going to be someone, I might as well be myself. And so I went with Connor. And then I realized that wasn't exactly very SEO friendly.
Yeah.
Because there's a crap ton of Connors in the world. So I then was like, well, my name is Connor and I'm a rapper.
So to stand
I've
out.
I've got it.
so to stand out, you're like, you know what? I am Connor Rapper.
Exactly. And turns out that wasn't a great idea. To be fair, I was just being very lazy. Like I didn't put a lot of thought into it. I kind of was just having this little kind of mental thing of like who do I actually want to be online, and I just never knew. So I went with Connor Rapper, and then a couple of years down the line, people actually told me how bad of a name it was.
Yeah.
And I decided to switch, and I swapped at the start of this year to Connor Quest, which I am infinitely happier with. And
Yes.
I feel like I don't know if it's just because things are going fairly well. I'm like glad, I'm like happier with it, but I feel like it is me now. Like, you know, before I kind of felt like it was there were these like separate entities of like I was Connor doing this Connor Rapper stuff, but now I just kind of feel like I am Connor Quest. Like it seems to be a lot more cohesive now in my brain.
Yeah. Okay, so you've been making music for a good bit. What got you started doing? What got you started doing music? And how'd you get into doing more with the nerdcore community?
Well, I was pretty much always listening to nerdcore from like when I started. I always say I started writing at 14, and then I started actually making music at around 16, 17ish, and I was writing at 14 mainly from watching people like Damble and Tryhard Ninja. Tryhard Ninja was doing like a lot of parody stuff back in the day, and Damble was just, excuse me, I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me.
Okay.
Cut that out.
No, I'm gonna amplify
it. Yeah, so I was listening to Damble like way back in the day, and he just always was like a massive inspiration in terms of writing, and just everything I could like see him doing was so clever and intricate, and it was just like, I want to be able to do that. And I always enjoyed kind of rap generally, and like poetry, and mainly just like English in that sense. And it was something I was kind of naturally better at, because I was like always, can I swear? No. I can swear. Great. Fantastic. I was shit at maths. I was shit at maths. Pretty bad at science. Just everything bar English. I was pretty good at English, and like that was like my kind of thing that I had. That all went to pot eventually in college, because I just got bored and was not a good student. But yeah, I just always had like an affinity for writing, and I mean that's why I was writing for 2 years before I actually made anything. I enjoyed the writing process so much more than the performing process. Mainly because I was bad at performing, because I was 15, 15, 16. But eventually I did start doing it, and uploading stuff, and it was mainly just going off the back of like finding more nerdcore artists, so that there was never really a point where I was like rapping and then found nerdcore. Nerdcore has pretty much just always been in the zone for me.
it. So back to your different names. So on Spotify, you still have Connor Rapper, with all of those older songs still on it.
Yeah.
And one thing that I noticed is that you have this sort of transition bit when you have your Connor Quest's Spotify channel, whatever it's called, and you have I believe it's called Onwards, which is a collection of stuff you didn't release as Connor Rapper.
Yeah. So I think there's like four songs on there, because that's a full anime album. So there are still a few songs that never made it to Spotify that I am hopefully gonna fix. I'm just probably gonna like remix them and remaster them and just make them sound a bit better before I actually put them on this new little kind of small EP, I guess. But yeah, there was that transition period where I just didn't want to upload. I mean, the plan was to upload them onto Connor Quest. The plan was to do that, but what ended up the plan was to get rid of all of my Connor Rapper stuff and put it on Connor Quest, or at least like the last like 14 tracks I'd done, because normally I would curate them into an album. But I hadn't done that for like 12 songs. So I was like, oh, it's okay. I'll just delete them all off Connor Rapper and put them on Connor Quest. Turns out they don't let you do that. So I deleted them all off Connor Rapper and went to put them on Connor Quest, and it was like, oh no, you can't do that. And I was like, great, I've just deleted a load of songs off of Spotify for no reason. But I did manage to re-upload them. And what I did instead is I just put them on all platforms. As individual singles, just because I mean some of them, like I know people do still want to listen to them. I don't think they're very good, bar a few, but people are still listening to them for some reason, so I might as well keep them up there while people are enjoying them.
I actually still kind of enjoy some of the older tracks.
That's good to.
And where was I? Uh, train of thought. No train of thought.
It'll come to you. Just gotta get the cogs turning.
I gotta look at my phone real quick. Oh yeah. One of the things I was actually words, you know? Like, English is my native language and I can't speak it half the time.
Oh, trust me. My job is in words and I can't speak half the time.
You have people write your lyrics on stream for you sometimes.
I do. That's interesting. That's something I
Yeah.
never thought I'd do.
Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about that. What made you want
Yeah.
to do that?
Well, I mean, Mark did it, Shravadi, and then Rustage started doing it as well, and it did just seem like it was a good kind of way to like kind of spark motivation at the very least. And I have always been like very very protective with lyrics. I've always been kind of that mindset that like if it's your song and it's your rap lyrics, only rap lyrics, never song lyrics. I was never bothered about like choruses or anything. Like if someone wanted to write a chorus and I would like, or if I wrote a chorus for someone, that would be fine. um but yeah, with rap lyrics, I was always very, very protective for some reason because I always had this mindset that like it's yours, it's your creation. Like you have to have done it for it to have any worth. Um, but then like I just kind of thought I'd try it and like, just see like if I would enjoy it, and it was really really fun. Like at the very least of everything, it was fun. Even if I didn't end up using anything that the people in the chat gave me, which I did because they had good ideas.
You mean like my spinach bars?
No, not like your spinach bars, not like them. They are in recycle bin, never seeing the light of day. Um, but yeah, even just like people coming up with rhyming words, like I don't know. I've just kind of grown out of that mentality of like everything has to be your own, no matter what. Because even if someone gives you an idea, you still have to like work it in and workshop it and fix it into the beat
Yeah.
and figure out how it all works. And I mean, like 90% of the stuff I do is still me and still my creation and still my bars and like thoughts and everything. So, and I don't mind having a little help on some stuff because it is writing is one of the like probably the hardest parts of a lot of people's work. Um, not for me. For me, instrumentals are the hardest part, but that's just because I'm not very good at them, and I've been writing for way longer than I've been producing. So,
Yeah.
but Shravely has told me before he finds writing the most like excruciating process of the like whole song making thing, and Daniel has days where he will just have to like sit down and write for like a whole day and like make sure he gets all the writing done. For me, like writing can sometimes it can either come out like a sneeze or it's a little bit tougher, but it never takes me longer than like 3 hours maybe, and that's just because I've been doing it for so long. It's just I guess a bit more natural to me.
Yeah.
Whereas an instrumental will take me like 4 days, and for someone like Shravadi, he'll do an instrumental in a stream, like, and it'll
Yeah.
just be way easier. So we all have our little strengths, pros and cons. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was fun. I've done a few of them now, and yeah, they just helped a lot. And I mean, it also kind of gives you an idea of what your audience wants, because like even if you didn't have the stream, they would still have wanted to hear the things that they were saying in a song. So you kind of get an idea of what your audience likes in your music, you know, what kind of bars they like to hear, what kind of like ideas they have, and you know, if you then implement that in the song, it's gonna, you know, reach them and they're gonna enjoy it more. So it's a win-win really. There's not really any like negative to it at all, apart from your own pride, which just, you know, get over that.
Yeah, there's also that whole community aspect, like
Yeah.
interacting with your whole fan
Mhm.
base. It makes you look it makes you look more approachable, more
Yeah.
genuine, you know?
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the someone who did something like that really well was like Nerd Out when they did the like 12 days 12 songs thing, where they had people send in lyrics and then they would like make the song fully of the fans lyrics that got sent in. And I always thought that was a great idea, and like that's a similar thing. Like they haven't come up with any of the content there necessarily, but what they've done is they've just taken that community aspect and built it into something which in itself is, you know, it's just a different way of doing it, and it doesn't make it any less because they didn't write it. You know, if anything, it makes it more because it's a community effort.
Yeah, words again. Okay, so, um, backtracking a little bit to who is Connor, uh,
Hmm.
tell us more about yourself, like your day-to-day life, hobbies and such. You know, let people kind of get to know you.
You assume I do more than just this.
I mean, fair. What
Yeah.
else is there besides anime and video games and music?
I don't know. Like honestly, I mean, with freaking quarantine and everything, like this kind of has just been what I've done for the past few months.
Yeah.
Um, Other than really like just hanging out with friends on Discord calls or like D&D sessions, I guess. I have two D&D campaigns I'm in that I play with a few people. Um, but yeah, other than that, just kind of like playing games and, you know, talking to my friends. Like that's genuinely 90% of my day. I When I'm not making music, I'm just talking to my friends. And I mean,
Yeah.
at the moment, that's kind of all I really need. Especially since we can't really. I mean, we can go out and do things now, but I'm not really. I'd rather I'd rather stay indoors anyway. I didn't really go out and do much as it was. I mean, when I was at uni, I did a lot more stuff. Like I went out and, you know, did things like, you know, go see a movie or whatever. But nowadays, like I am just super busy, like doing everything on YouTube, and I enjoy it. So it's, you know, that is where I get my enjoyment out of. It's not like I'm doing something else that I then need to have a break from. Um, and if I really do need a break because, you know, stuff's just getting too stressful, like I'll just like say I'll just hop on a call with my friends and then, you know, just kind of chill out. I read manga now. that's that's a thing I'm doing. I'm starting to kind of collect a few more actual mangas and, you know, read through them. Um, yeah, I got Animal Crossing recently, so that's consuming a little bit of my life. But like I say, that's just gaming again. Like there really isn't too much else that I do, which sounds really boring, but like there's just not. There's just not. I've never been like a sports guy. I've never been anything like that. I just kind of do what I like to do, which is make music, play games, and watch slash read anime and manga, and hang around with my friends.
Uh, so you mentioned Animal Crossing. Who is your favorite villager?
See, I don't see. I got Animal Crossing recently, so I don't really have many people, but I really do like the like office tie cat with the different colored eyes. I don't know what he's called, but I
Ah,
really like that guy.
I know his name and his. words. I know his name, and it's at the top of my head.
Yeah.
Raymond.
Raymond, that's the one.
Yes.
That's the one. Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
couple. There's a couple more I saw as well that I really like the design of. But like I said, I couldn't remember the names for the life of me. So there's the ketchup duck, which is really really cute. I really really like her. And the orange one, the orange duck, is really really cute as well.
Yeah. All right. So you mentioned university.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
Well, I went to a pretty exclusively music university down kind of south England, and yeah, I mean, I didn't really kind of plan to go there. I just really kind of it sounds weird that you like because university is normally something you really heavily plan and like you make sure you go into the right one, you get the grades
Yeah.
for it. I really just fell into it like a stumble. Like I got terrible grades in college and just managed to scrape the barrier. Never really like tried to get in. I didn't even know the uni existed until about 4 months before I applied. Because I just kind of found it at this like uni convention where they all kind of try and pitch
Uni
themselves to you.
convention.
Yeah, they like all come in their booths and stuff and like, yeah, come to us. We'll give you an education. And it's like I just wasn't interested in any of them. I said so many times, I'm not going to uni. I don't need that shit. Nah, never. I'm not. I'm never going to uni. And then I went to uni, so that worked out. But yeah, it was heavily focused on music. There wasn't really any other courses that they did. It was a lot smaller than like a normal campus. It didn't actually have a campus. It was just kind of
Yeah.
in the middle of a town. The main building was above a Weatherspoons, so you can imagine how that worked out in like breaks. Just finish class, pint and Weatherspoons. That was always the classic go. And then there was like another
That's
building they
amazing.
had. There was another building they had across the way that was above Tesco. It was all just above shops and like bars. They had like
Bars.
literally bars. Yeah, it was very kind of dotted all around and all over the place. But yeah, it was good. Like I obviously learned a lot. I didn't really know much about music production before I went. Which probably isn't something that should have been done going into a music production course.
Mm.
uh, but I kind of learned the basics going through, and I think I'm way better now than I was when I was actually at uni. But I think it definitely gave me a good like kind of baseline for everything, and I met a bunch of like amazing people, like absolutely insane like networking opportunity, but not even just networking. Like I did just make really really good friends that like
Yeah.
kind of introduced me to like whole different worlds of performing and just hanging out and different worlds of music, different styles of music, different kind of work ethics. And yeah, it was just an incredible like just opening experience. And I think definitely like developed me as a person like the most out of like everything in my life.
So, one thing I want to talk about that recently happened is so one of the most demanded tracks in
Yeah.
nerdcore
Mm-hmm.
that no one wanted to do.
Nope. No one's gonna do it.
How did you pull off the Cherokee cipher?
Well, it was a struggle. It was a struggle, I will say that.
I can
Um,
imagine.
yeah, I mean, I have like a kind of little secret behind the scenes video that it will maybe come out kind of this weekend that explains all the like kind of really in-depth detail of how it all came to be. Um, but that will probably be out before this airs anyway. So I guess I'll just say I kind of started. I was always thinking about it because I obviously always saw it being suggested, and I'd spoken to Rustage on multiple occasions of like, oh, people are asking for a Jinchuriki cipher again. And he was like, I'm never doing a Jinchuriki cipher. It would be terrible. There's nothing to talk about. Like, 6 of them don't have barely any backstory. You can't make a good. It just wouldn't be a good cipher. And arguably, it isn't. Arguably, even the one I've done isn't actually that great when you look at it, comparatively to the content that is in other ciphers. But for a Jinchuriki cipher, I think it is the best we could do. It
I mean,
has
yeah.
it has some of the like best people that I could have got on it. Top people that are like in the game right now. Which I was super shocked at as well, that I managed to actually get some of these people on, like Zach and NLJ. NLJ actually contacted me to be on it because
I
he
know,
found out I was doing it and then asked me to be on it, and I was like, of course. Like, I nearly had to turn him down because I had someone else lined up that I was waiting for a response for. So I didn't want to like just bin them off just to get NLJ on. So I had to like wait for them to reply. And I mean, I guess luckily they never did. I'm sure it would have been
yeah.
good if I'm sure it still would have been good if they had come on. But it's always great having NLJ on a track. He always absolutely slays it. So all's well that ends well in that regard.
Yeah, I
But
actually,
yeah, some amazing people on it somehow. Still
yeah.
don't. Again, I still don't really know how I pulled it off, to be honest, and I especially didn't expect the intense wave of support on it. Like, it's been really really mental the last couple of days.
Like, pretty much everyone that was on the cipher said literally everything you can say about the characters.
Exactly.
Aside from Zach, he didn't say anything about Han because
Well, that's because there's nothing. That's because there's nothing about Han.
and it
He
still
has like
sounds good.
2 lines. Exactly. And it is still classic, really good Zach Boucher flow. And he still talks about the tailed beast, like he talks about their story, because essentially Han's story is just the tailed beast story
Yeah,
at that point. So he actually did say everything that he could have. And that's what I mean. Like, we all kind of peaked at the top level of what we could talk about with the characters, and I think we all did the best job possible. So I do not think there was room for improvement on that cipher, especially in terms of like writing and everything.
yeah, and uh, from what I understand, it is currently uh the the uh highest trending song on your channel.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have the Luigi's Mansion one that is obviously at more views, but that was curated over a way longer
Yeah,
period
like
of
what,
time.
6, 8 months ago,
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
exactly. And this is, the cipher is fast encroached on, half of the views in, I don't even know, a 60th of the time, maybe. Like, not even,
Yeah, like
small.
4 days, it got
Yeah,
over 100K,
yeah, really,
which,
really mad. I mean,
which,
people wanted it. People really, really wanted
yeah,
it. And I guess it shows. And I think I did it at a good time as well. I think if I'd done it maybe even like 2 months ago or 3 months ago, I don't think it would have done as well.
yeah,
But I think because I did it after I hit this 10K mark, it definitely kind of pushed it that little bit further. Um, just because I'd actually managed to get somewhat of a decent, base of people kind of watching my stuff at that point. And yeah, it weirdly all just kind of fell into place. And I will give a big shout out to Stargirl, who was definitely the one that pretty much convinced me to do it in the first place, off of just like, again, an offhanded conversation we were having about the cipher. And yeah, then convinced me to actually do it, and was actually a massive help throughout the entire
Yeah.
production of it. Just through organization, and obviously did a verse herself, which was amazing as well. She even like had a hand in writing it, and we wrote it together, and it was just a really fun experience, just overall. And yeah, I'm really really happy with how it came out. I'm really really happy with how it came out.
Yeah. In terms of performance, not only does it have like all those views, I noticed that you only recently kind of hit the 10K mark, and
Mhm.
and that was maybe less than a month ago,
Yeah.
like just a few weeks, and you now have 14K. So that was like
Yeah.
over the course of like the past week, that's at least a couple thousand or so.
Yeah, I mean, it took me 2 years to get 1,000 subscribers, and then when the Jinchuriki cipher came out, I got a
It took
thousand
2 days.
subscribers in 24 hours. In 24 hours, I got
24
1,000.
hours.
Yeah,
Damn. That's
so
impressive.
two years of work condensed into into a day, which is like, you almost get a little bit salty about it. You're like, why did it take this long to do that, and then not that, and then it just now. But
Because you
yeah, I mean,
didn't put out the cipher
because I
before.
didn't exactly. I should have debuted with the Jinchuriki cipher. That's what I should have done, and then I would have been so much further in my career.
I mean, to be fair, on on Rustage, words on Rustage's channel, a lot of the artists that appeared on a couple of his ciphers, that was more or less their debut, because uh, the amount of views garnished from those songs, like, brought
Mhm.
attention to them. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ciphers
I
are
mean,
pretty good at doing that.
yeah, no, they are. They definitely give. Even if it's like kind of a smaller platform, they definitely give a huge platform to people. I mean, the Akatsuki cipher was my kind of debut on a Rustage song, and back then it definitely curated me like a good amount of followers for what I was getting. I was maybe getting
Yeah.
1, 2 subscribers a day, and then when the Akatsuki cipher came out, I got like 30, and for me that was like, whoa, like holy crap, I got 30 followers today. That's mad. Um, obviously, now that's like not actually that great, but at the time it was fantastic. Um, and the Akatsuki cipher was also the first time I heard Dreaded. Um, when he played Obito, and I was like, "Who is this guy?" Like, yeah, it just, and Daisy as well. It was the first time I heard her playing Kanan, and yeah, I just discovered like a load of new people through them, and every single one, like the Hokage cipher, I discovered Dizzy 8 through that,
Yeah.
and like just yeah, it just brought a load of people together that wouldn't necessarily have been on a song together by themselves, and they have just kind of really molded this little community aspect into something even more than it was, and kind of allowed a lot more people to come into it, which I think is really really nice. And nerdcore has always been a massive community based thing anyway, so it's kind
Yeah.
of natural that they would just do well and be good and help everyone in a sense. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. No, it's Shigaraki. It's just Shigaraki. Um, yeah, that one that was in the works for a while actually. Unfortunately, a feature fell through on it, so I had to then recurate the second verse for it. But it's turned out really really good. I'm happy with it. Um, yeah, and I got K2 Sonic Fan to do the video on it, and he has done a really amazing job. So hopefully hopefully the video looks good. Hopefully the song's good. I like it. It's a little bit different to what I've been doing recently. It's a little bit mellower. It's a lot of bars. The chorus is very different to anything I've done recently. You know, I've been doing a lot more melodic choruses. This is a little bit more of a kind of just heavy. It's not really heavy. It's spooky. It's spooky is what I'm trying to say. I think it's a little bit spookier. A little bit more classic hip hop.
I can't wait to hear it. I actually haven't taken a listen to it yet, but
Mhm.
after this, I definitely want to hop
Sweet.
on Spotify to listen to Connor Quest.
Yes, yes. Subliminal messaging there.
What's subliminal messaging? I'm just saying I like listening to Connor Quest on Spotify.
I don't know. Yeah, it's just that's just subconscious level. Just, you know.
Yeah. All right. So, to wrap things up, is there anyone currently in the nerdcore community that you feel deserves more attention? So we can kind of help support them in their endeavors.
Well, there is this one guy. I don't know if you maybe have heard of him. He's like kind of a little bit lower in the kind of scale of things. Right, Rustage. He's been doing like this. I know, right? No one's heard of this guy, and he's doing all these anime raps recently. Oh, I can't. Do check out Rustage. That's not a joke. He is fantastic, but definitely not someone underground at the moment.
Yeah.
No, I think honestly, like Schwabity, like I just think the stuff that he's putting out recently is so good. Especially like because we share a lot of our music together, and I know like a couple of the projects he's got coming out, and they're insane. Like they're so good, and I'm really excited. Also, if I could say one more person as well, I don't want to be cheeky,
yes.
but Sailor Your Love. I don't know when this interview is coming out, but her recent track that she's about to put out, I think tomorrow. I've heard it. It's really insane. I love Sailor. She's great. I think she's gonna start doing some really big and good stuff soon. And yeah, I think she's really talented. So yeah, those are my recommendations. Rusted, Schwabity, and Sailor Your Love.
All right, sweet. So would you like to kind of plug yourself a bit? Where can we find you?
Myself. Connor_Quest on Twitter. Connor Quest Music on Instagram and on Twitch if you want to come see me stream or look at my face on photographs. Yeah, I mean Twitter, I just chat a lot of shit all day, so you know, don't follow me on Twitter. It's not worth your time. And yeah, and then just Connor Quest with the little exclamation mark on YouTube to listen to my music, and the same with Spotify. And I have a few things on iTunes, but not much, just because I like doing them in albums when they go on every single store. Singles go on Spotify, and that's just the way I work. And people get mad at me, but I don't care.
All right. So, thank you for your time, and anything you'd like to say to sign off?
Cheers.
All right. So this was Connor Quest, and
it's me.
That concludes the interview for today. I hope everyone who stuck through the whole thing has a wonderful day, and we will see you next time.
Yeah, cheers for having us on. Bye-bye.